Crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and to hear the lamentation of the women. What's going on, y'all? What's happening? It's been a minute. Yes, and if you see me on the screen, you already know what time it is. It's time for another episode of Bang, you guessed it. Eddie G's Comic Culture. Once again, I'm your host, the one and only incomparable Eddie G. Here bringing it to you live and in full effect as I always do. Thank y'all for stopping in for the first time. If this is your first time coming through the show, just to let y'all know, to give you a heads up, this is a show that's basically about all things comic book related as well as pop culture, spanning across generations from the past, present, and even to the future. I talk about a lot about comic books, obviously, of course, graphic novels, books, movies, television shows, music, even for that nature, things of that nature, just all across the board of pop culture. Thank y'all for stopping in. And once again, the show is still sponsored by the great folks over at Black Apparel. So make sure you stop over at the website at www.blackapparelblk.com. And they got some pretty dope gear coming up. My boy just put up some onesies in there for anybody who's expecting right about now, if y'all have any babies on the way. And shout out to everybody, Nerdy Blurb TV, my boy AJ Reacts, Chemist, of course. And everyone out there, Dennis Knight, Pronto Comics. Everybody, thank you guys for the love and support. And once again, as I start this episode off, let's just kick this. Let's just get this shit started. Let's get this shit started going off right about now. So far, like I just wanted to say, it's been a bit of I guess you could say it's been kind of a dead week as far as news is concerned. I've been trying to pick up some comics digitally, of course. I still haven't gotten into the new Batman and Superman title that started as of yet, but so far I've been doing a lot of I've been doing a lot of old Batman Returns research for some reason. I don't know why, but I was just it's just been, ever since the announcement of Michael Keaton's possible return into the Flash and playing Batman again. By the way, that has been one of the most the craziest things I've ever seen so far. It's been a hell of a month since that dropped. I mean, so far it's only talks in theory, but as you can see, that sort of news, that news right then and there just set the internet on its ear, because everything that's been going on as of recent with DC and so on and so forth, Warner Brothers and everything. So it really just it really sparked the nostalgia, of course, and Michael Keaton is always still Batman to me till this very day. So the fact that this was actually that news hit really had me super psyched as to what's going on. This Flash movie sounds like it's gonna be off the wall, crazy if they're including other characters of that nature. It's gonna be kind of nuts to see what they're doing with this. I mean, Andy Muschietti, I believe, is the director's name. He's the director of both Ep films. He's behind the camera on this, so I'm interested in seeing what the hell they're gonna do, because everything has been. If you guys have, this movie has been in. To say that this movie has been in development hell is like a biggest understatement ever. With all the directors changing, and God knows what issues that were going on, and then of course the Ezra Miller fiasco with him and that girl over in a bar. So I don't know. I think it was Scotland or something like that. I'm not too sure, but something happened with him. And all kinds of crazy stuff has just been, it's been nuts. I mean, 2020 hasn't been the greatest all the way around, but recently, a bunch of news, especially entertainment news, that's come out that's been pretty out of this world. So that's happening. Plus, what I have here, the Batman looks like it's getting another shot at That looks like they're getting some sort of I wouldn't call it a reboot, obviously, because it's two totally different stations and networks, obviously. But the Batman is actually producing a spin-off TV show, a prequel series that's going to debut on HBO Max called Gotham PD. I'm assuming this is basically the stuff that most of the events that lead up to where Batman's arrival in Gotham City occurs, and the layout for many of these characters and the villains that are supposedly showing up in the movie. So I'm assuming this is going to be like a nice little epilogue. I mean, back in the days we had certain stuff like that. Certain comic book films did have accompanying novelizations as well as, but some of them had prequel comics as well. So this is something along that same vein. Only thing is that it's actually a TV show. How similar is it going to be to Gotham that was on Fox? I'm not too sure. Uh, but that's a hell of a short period of time considering everything, because the Batman scheduled to be released in October of 2021. So we're already more than, we're already at the halfway point of 2020. How's that? Like, do they have a cast already, or is there like pilots and episodes already filmed and whatnot? So that's another thing. Apparently, DC's also holding some sort of an event of this summer. I guess it's finally similar to the D23. It's going to be a DC. I believe it's called DC Fandome. It'll be on August 23rd. There's going to be a presence there from all from the upcoming films, DC films, as well as some Batman, supposedly some footage from the new Batman game coming out. Hopefully we get something, if they do give us some sort of footage, hopefully it's next gen footage, because that's what I'm really hyped about right about now. But we're looking at that. I don't know what kind of announcements are they planning. Maybe there may be some sort of surprises that they may drop in the middle of that, but at this point I really just don't know. Everything has been, because the way the the analog shift this year has been from physical to now digital, and literally in every aspect in life because of COVID. So with Comic Con, actually, San Diego Comic Con going down that route, it's interesting to see what's going to be present in the DC Fandome, because it looks like both DC and MCU are going to be keeping their they're gonna be keeping their presentations to themselves this year, considering it's gonna be a digital event. But which I don't blame them. But I would love to see I'd love to see some more news exactly in regards to the upcoming Blade, and are we finally gonna get anything regarding the X-Men in the future? I mean, these are questions that are lingering in the air right about now, which is definitely interesting. But yeah, that's gonna be pretty. But like I said, that's pretty news. Like I said, that's pretty. Surprising at that point. It's gonna be a little different this year, getting adjusted to the cons, considering everything. But I believe it's. We'll pull through. Let's talk about what the Ray Fisher. Wow, Ray Fisher and the revelations of his that apparently Joss Whedon was very abusive and. I guess you could say somewhat uncouth on set or whatever, because he was trashing supposedly Zack Snyder's work. I shouldn't be laughing, but he was trashing Zack Snyder's work on set. Apparently, this is what's been supposedly that was rumored, but it's come out that Joss Whedon has actually been having some issues. He's very abusive when he's an abusive person to work with. Another cat, I believe this. Jesus, what was that another cast from a show, one of his shows. It's not Firefly. It's not Firefly, but one of his casts. I forgot what the hell it was. Was it Sabrina the Teenage Witch? I'm not too sure. One of those shows that he's involved in, right about that he was involved in, have come out and exactly and have echoed those sentiments as well. So it looks like Joss Whedon's days in Hollywood might be coming down to a slow. Might not be happening, but at this point right about now, it's very shocking to say the least, because it was strange that he was this is the guy who got us, who opened up the door with the MCU with the Avengers and Avengers Age of Ultron and whatnot, and he really gave the leg up on them for that. So to see this revelation just come out of the blue, I guess really was a little crazy, but I mean, this isn't news. Honestly, there's other directors out there that have been really I heard and we all know James Cameron is a super dick. Like, James Cameron is an asshole. Like, James Cameron has actually gotten punched on set by Ed Harris. You know what I'm saying? So this kind of stuff isn't really a great revelation to me. I don't think it would be a bad idea. Joss Whedon I don't see this really, I don't see how this should really destroy his career or affect it. Because like I said, when you have people like James Cameron and there's a lot of those out there. It's not just him. Yeah, that was a little crazy, but to say the least, honestly, I'm gonna be real here. Ray Fisher, He's one that I feel the most for. I felt bad for because he actually has the action. He was the one I think that had the most acting chops out of the entire league, out of the entire cast, and he got sidelined super fast with everything that was going on. So I do feel bad, and hopefully his career can pick up sometime along, down the line in the future. But to say this now when all this kind of crazy stuff, I mean, 3 years later, you know, honestly, bro, like the Zack Snyder cut it's coming on in 2021, and I'm actually just I want this shit to just come and go and just leave already because I'm done, my dude. Because this whole shit with you know, I'm almost this is exactly what my initial thought was. He's pulling for Zack Snyder right now. I think he's trying to pull for Zack Snyder. I think he's trying to get Snyder back on board and Warner Brothers and all this. I think this is just him campaigning for Zack to return, which to me is bullshit. I don't want him at all coming back. I mean, fuck all that. I mean, let's leave it at that with the Justice League coming up next year, and let that be the end of it because I just don't want to see any more of this man's work. I've had enough. He's already like Jesus Christ. Like I can't. Like I really just can't. So, but initially that was my thought. I was like, you know what? This sounds like a straight up publicity stunt. Like I'm so tired of here because I got tired. Like I was at the point between the Snyder cut and all that other crazy shit that's been happening in between to finally get that shit. And then this guy's gonna, so then ready to come out and say that. I was like, I bet. But then I had to think about it, and then I was like, you know what? All right, maybe I'm gonna give him some credence too because he did suffer the most out of this career wise. He gave it the most. He was the one. He was really pulling through for this. This was gonna be his big break, and it ended up being a major dud. So with that being said, I'm hoping that somehow down the line, if he doesn't return as Cyborg, that they could return him as somebody else or whatever the case may be. But yeah, man, it really kind of like it threw me off. It really threw me off. Like I really just thought like he was really just strong arm and trying to really pull for Zack Snyder throughout the whole way. But after a while, and then now the other cast confirming this, it was pretty hard to say. But then it's like I said, at the end of the day, this isn't something new. This isn't something that we've heard that we haven't heard before. So with that being said, it's not really like I don't think it's really anything to be really giving too much attention to as far as that's concerned. Like I said, it's surprising and it's a little bit disappointing, but it is what it is. But yes, actually, at this point, yeah, I'm hoping to see what's going to happen with the DC Fandome event. What's going to happen with San Diego Comic Con? Apparently, both studios are not going to be there. From what I've read, from what I've read so far. That usually can change no matter what. Because like I said, this is a digital event. It's not physical. They don't have to attend any halls or anything of that nature. They could just automatically make a surprise announcement to any of the admins that's running the con and be like, you know what, fuck it, we're throwing out a surprise bombshell, blah 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 blah, this, that, and the third. But with that being said, they actually made a focus on comic books this year. That they said that there's going to be a main focus on comic books, and that's going to be excellent because we haven't had a comic book convention where focus was on the comic books for quite some time. The comic books have been focused on, the movies, really. And as far as the movies have really has helped to generate the media of comic books, we need to focus the love of comics back and put it back on the forefront to have these people reading these stories again. And that's really what I want to see. So I'm hoping to see some great announcements coming up. I'm definitely going to be keeping my eyes open to the DC panel as well as the Marvel panel because I know there's been some major shakeups over there over the past year. So I'm definitely going to be keeping my ears open as to what plans are coming up. Hopefully they're not having... I hope that they focus more on the small episodic type of stories with other characters, that they don't make these huge... that there's no focus on these huge blockbuster... world shifting, rebooting, retconning events. Like I really hope that's not that they let's try to give those a rest for a while, and try to like refocus and recharge and regenerate, and get these and get some good singular stories for these characters out there. I understand they're trying to highlight their entire roster and their role gallery, but at this point it's just like I wanted if pushing them in a group effort like that really isn't going to do much. You know what I'm saying? So I would say focus more on the singular efforts of these stories that revolve around these characters and standalone stories. Build them up, keeping the spirit of the characters alive and such, you know, and modernizing them in today's standards and world, in today's world. But yeah, man, it's gonna be pretty exciting. Like I said, hopefully we'll get some news on the PS5 too as well, because I'm going crazy off of that shit. But either way, I'm gonna close out this episode, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you have any questions or comments, you already know what's the deal. Hit the comment section. Let me know if you have any opinions that you agree with or disagree with. You know, let me know. Shoot me a message. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you can get notifications when I'm blowing up and raising up another episode, raising hell, doing my thing. But I hope y'all are staying safe out there. I hope you guys are doing good and continue to do so as we move forward on this in these very difficult times. So, but nothing but love and blessings and good vibes to all of y'all out there. Even though, you know, I don't really have a faith at all. I don't have a faith in anything, but but good vibes to all and love to all. And I hope y'all are staying safe and following the guidelines. And I'll hope to see y'all on the other side. Peace and love.